What's up, guys? It's Christine with Irene Iron Fitness, and today we are in Newport, Washington, just north of Spokane at 1,000 Trails RV Park. And today I'm going to whip up some Cumin beef tacos with black beans. So if you want something new for Taco Tuesday, keep watching. Alright, so my tacos, I'm using beef. Ground beef, I'm using 96% lean. I am using my spice mix that I made myself. I recently talked about how I don't believe in buying blends. Like, I would never buy a taco packet. You can make your own. It's way better, and it's the way you like it. And I have onion, garlic, and black beans. So I'm gonna start with sauteing the onion. I'm gonna use avocado oil. I use avocado oil with sauteing because it has a higher smoke point, and I always measure. I kind of look at free pouring olive oil like digging into an open jar of peanut butter with a spoon. It usually doesn't end well, and just don't fight it, because just measure it and you're safer. So you want to get the oil in the pan, and first your onions. We're gonna get these sauteed for 2 to 3 minutes, and then we're gonna add our garlic in. You can do tacos so many different ways. Usually, I prefer a smoked paprika taco. That's also what I prefer in my fajitas. But when I'm doing a beef taco and I want something different, I always go towards cumin and garlic. And I use fresh garlic and fresh onion just to add a different layer of flavor that you can't always get from spices. We're gonna get the onions and the garlic going, and then we're gonna put the beef in. We're gonna brown the beef, and then finally we add in our seasoning. Our beef is cooked and browned and crumbly, and there is a little bit of moisture in there that I'm going to leave in there, and we're ready to put our spice mix in. If you want the full recipe, go to the blog and print out the printable recipe. Like I said, this is a cumin heavy taco seasoning. So you want to add that in, and then also I have some water on standby because you want to watch the beef. If it gets absorbed of the liquid right away, you're going to want to add that water in. And when you add in the water to the beef with the seasoning, it helps the beef suck in the moisture and suck in the seasoning. So that's the point of adding the water in. Right now, mine seems pretty moist still from the vegetables, like the onion still rendering out a little bit. There wasn't too much fat in here from the beef because it was the lean 96%. But just keep your eye on it. You'll know right away if you need to add water in or not. And then also, we're gonna add the beans in so that the beans can soak up some of that flavor. And I'm doing black beans. And this just helps give the tacos something a little different, so it's just not pure beef. And for me, I like to just eat this on its own. You don't necessarily have to put it in a shell or on rice. You certainly can. But keep in mind that beans are a carb. They're 75% carbohydrate and only 25% protein in a bean. And a lot of people just think that beans are all protein, and that's not true. You should never count a bean as a protein unless you're vegetarian or vegan or strictly plant-based. Then that's the time to do it, and that's great. If you're not counting carbs or counting any macros, then don't even worry about it. Then just eat what you want. And you can see the proportion of beef to beans is pretty good. Like, it's not overwhelmingly beany, but there is a lot of beans in here so that it does stand up to make its own little dish if you wanted it to. And when you put this skillet, divide it into 4 meals, if you were to divide it into 4 servings, each serving comes in at roughly 280 calories, 31 grams of protein, 21 grams of carbs, and 6 grams of fat. So it's a pretty light dish overall. It would make a really good mini meal, or you could easily double it and have 2 servings at a regular meal. So that's it. It was really easy to put together. I hope you enjoyed the recipe. If you did, give it a thumbs up, hit that subscribe, and check in next week for another recipe. And Wednesdays, I do my fitness and my nutrition tips. And then on Sundays, Aaron and I do some lifestyle and some RV upgrades and travel and things like that. So check you next time. Thanks for watching. I do one more.
Oh, that might make the video.